All right, here we are again. Today is April the 2nd, 2025. So today it's super windy and it's actually hot. Well, it's really got a lot of moisture. In fact, if you look at we got our storm relative felicity. We got our surface-based CAPE, which they're getting storm fuel for us. And then our mixed layer CAPE. Significant tornado parameters, they're still not there. And I think bulk shear, about 40 knots, 30 knots mostly. So anyways, you ready for this? Day one, high risk. Off to our west, back into West Tennessee, western Arkansas, what do they call that? The Missouri Boot Hills, and eastern Arkansas, and a little bit of northern Mississippi is in the high risk. And the moderate risk expands out from that, enhanced risk, and then slight and marginal. We was in the marginal, and we do have ingredients for some severe storms. We have everything in place for it, but we just don't. I think what they say, they didn't have nothing, no lift, nothing to create any kind of lift, no short waves or fronts or boundaries or anything like that. So I mean everything's there. We do have a high risk back to our west. Tornado risk, that was the reason for it. Upgraded from I think it was a 30% already, and it went to a 30% hatch. So they put in a high risk for that area, and a 15 hatched, and then a 10 hatched. We're not in anything, thank God. Tornado outbreaks is expected today and tonight from parts of the lower Mississippi Valley into the Mid-South and lower Ohio Valley. Numerous tornadoes, along with multiple EF3 plus tornadoes, appear likely. In addition to the tornadoes, significant severe wind gusts and large hail to very large hail will be possible across a broad area from North Texas northeastward to the southern Great Lakes. So we got a strong mid to upper level trough with associated 120 knot mid-level jet streak will advance quickly northeastward today across the upper Midwest and Great Lakes. A broader area of 50 to 70 knot southwesterly mid-level flow will persist over much of the southern valley into the lower Mississippi Valley and Ohio Valley. At the surface, the primary low over far eastern Nebraska and western Iowa this morning is forecast to develop northeastward in tandem with the upper trough today, eventually reaching the upper Midwest by this evening. The trailing cold front will continue southeastward across the southern plains and the Ozarks today, before eventually stalling and lifting northward as a warm front. Tonight, weak secondary surface low development is possible this afternoon and evening along or just ahead of the front across Arkansas and the Mid-South. Ozarks into the lower mid-Mississippi Valley, Mid-South, Ohio Valley, and the southern Great Lakes. Robust convection is ongoing this morning from northern Missouri southwestward to southern Oklahoma and North Texas, along and near the cold front, even with some capping concern noted in the area. Surrounding ahead of this activity, very strong 60 to 70 knots southerly low level jet is providing ample low-level moisture transport to support continued convection intensity. Steep to mid-level WAPS rates and strong deep layer shear is also fostering some embedded supercell structures. Associated large hail threat. Otherwise, given the strength of the low-level flow and very strong effective storm relative velocity, scattered severe damaging winds and a few tornadoes will remain the primary threat. with this line of convection as it continues eastward this morning across the remainder of the Oklahoma into Arkansas and Missouri. A strong tornado may occur with any sustained surface-based supercell. Let me answer her. The effects that this morning convection has on downstream afternoon severe potential across the lower mid-Mississippi Valley may be substantial. Most guidance shows either a gradual weakening trend with the line by late morning, early afternoon, or a de-evolution into a broken line of supercells. Mid to high-level cloud debris could inhibit daytime heating to some extent across much of the warm sector, and the northern extent of the weakening line over northern Missouri may serve as a cutoff for surface-based thunderstorms across the Midwest and Ohio Valley later today. Even with this continued uncertainty, it appears likely that a corridor of moderate to strong instability will develop this afternoon across the lower Mississippi Valley into the Mid-South and lower Ohio Valley, generally ahead of whatever remains of the ongoing morning convection. More nebulous, weaker, large-scale ascent over these regions, given their spatial displacement from the ejecting upper trough, or there may be more mixed supercell mode this afternoon and evening, particularly with southward extent. Anyways, it talks about it there. So, as you can see, southern plains. This is with the cold front expected to stall, eventually begin lifting northward. Tonight, additional supercells may develop late in tandem with ascending. That's they have the high risk here, of course, for that area, but also that exact same area is expecting extreme rainfall. If you look at the rainfall over the next couple of days, I got a moderate risk. I think that's today. And you see it goes every day. They got a high risk of rainfall tomorrow. Anyways, high risk excessive rainfall. Large portion lower. And of course, if you look at, they have them every day. Day 1, 2, the high risk, 3, moderate, 4, moderate, and then it starts coming to us. And if you look at the severe weather risk, day 2, same thing. Another severe weather over the same areas. Day 3, over the same areas. And then you get 4 through 8, it starts moving kind of a little eastward. That's when we have our severe weather, is probably late Saturday night is where we can have ours. So that's what we got. We got another high risk. So, and as I just showed you, right now for the watches, they have watches out here. Tornado watch. It's slowly moving east. And you have mesoscale discussions. Excuse me. Another one. Anyways, they have potential area of discrete storms as boundary layer continues to destabilize, greater tornado threat may develop. It's not as got a confluence band, I guess. So it ain't really started yet. If you look at the radar, crap. See the storms off to the east. This is in coming out of Oklahoma into Arkansas, and there's some up here in Missouri, getting a lot there. Actually, the line looks a little bit less, and then this will be where the high risk is. You can see storms are severe still back to the west. But actually it doesn't look as impressive as it did. I don't think it'll show. Yeah, there's a warm front coming north. There's a cold front. Here's a new updated. That ain't really much change. That's 1228. Doesn't really change. Well, they've expanded the moderate risk. You see, it was moderate risk went further north. Because see, it wasn't. If you look here. Into southern Indiana. If you look at the new one, it's more up into Indiana. It's thunderstorm forecast. Wait for it to catch up. Updated. We're put this in there where it don't blow all over the yard. Alright. Let's see if they've updated it yet. Usually their website doesn't update when they put out a new one. This is X, of course. So we'll see if see, it does look like a lot of possible rain clouds moving in. We just looked at radar. There we go. Alright, tornado risk still 30% hatched. Wind. Well, they got added a 45% hatch. That's the reason that they upgraded the Indiana to a 45 or to a moderate risk. And then hail, of course, still 30%. Anyway, but you can see that we're still not in it. The margin of risk stretches probably over the plateau. So, but anyway, still maintaining that high risk. And you can see some of the, let me go to, where they got? Third Fort in Middle Tennessee. However, the atmosphere is volatile and if supercell develops, watch out. I think it's a low probability, no alarms right now, but did not want unaware with this powder keg loft. Noon update for, I wonder why he goes go crazy over Popular Bluff. He must have family there or something. I don't know. But anyway, it's a new updated one I just showed you. They just moved the moderate risk further north. A tornado, yeah, of course it'll happen, of course. nothing for us. I mean, we got a marginal risk right to our west. And then Cookeville has a slight, McMinnville has a slight, and then you see the enhanced back to the west. We're barely out of the, it was crazy over there. That's excessive rain, which is none. And Nevada, Missouri, they always, when I lived in Missouri, Nevada always got hit by severe weather. And I'm not saying, oh, it's no big deal, HREF is now in agreement with a high-risk across the Mid-South focused on East Arkansas into the Memphis Metro and West Tennessee. What is this anyways? Probability of a tornado. What I've been prefacing for a day, prefrontal cells, supercell tornado potential in south central Kentucky west of Bowling Green. That's where it says potential late afternoon. What? 14Z day tornado forecast. It's almost in purple, so I mean it's maxed out. So anyway, I just figured I'd make a video about there's that warm front hanging out. A couple of severe storms up there. I didn't know that. I think they were severe storms. Let's go look at the radar. Blowing snow. Yeah, they do. Ah, come on. Let's look at this. Oh, we got a little mess of rain up here too. Huh. Up near Cleveland, Ohio, Canton, Pittsburgh, Columbus. I mean, in places like that, got a lot of. Got anything back here in Indiana? Yeah, we got some elevated storms there. Oh, anyway, I figured I'd make it showing that high risk again, but instead of back to our south, it's back to our west. The last high risk was down here over Mississippi and Alabama, and then we had a lot of tornado warnings come up through through the valley there, Chattanooga northward, right through there was they got a lot of tornado warnings, but no confirmed tornadoes. Now the high risk is further back to the west, so. So anyways, I figured I'd make a video. I showed you all kinds of stuff. So I'm just sitting out here hanging out with the pups. What is this? Public, oh. Ugh. Anyway. They ain't posted it yet. Stop, whatever you are. Oh, yeah, you can see. Got a public severe weather outlook. Clarksville, I think, is right on the edge of moderate risk. Cape Girardeau's in the high risk. Jonesboro, Memphis. Little Rock's right outside of it. Pine Bluff is right in it. St. Louis an enhanced risk. Bloomberg's in the moderate. Evansville, Lexington an enhanced. Cincinnati's an enhanced. Indianapolis. So, looks like to be an interesting day. There we are. Outbreak of tornadoes and severe thunderstorms expected over parts of the mid-south and the lower Mississippi Valley, Ohio River Valley later today and tonight. Locations include eastern Arkansas, western Tennessee, southeast Missouri, western Kentucky, southern Illinois, southwest Mississippi, central and southern Indiana, northern Louisiana, and western Ohio. Numerous tornadoes, several intense and long track, widespread damaging winds, some hurricane force, scattered large hail, and some baseball size. A tornado outbreak is expected this afternoon into early tonight from parts of the lower Mississippi Valley into the mid-south and lower Ohio Valley. Numerous tornadoes, along with multiple EF3 plus tornadoes, appear likely. In addition, tornadoes, significant severe winds, and large hail to very large hail will be present across a broad area from North Texas northeastward to the southern Great Lakes. So you can pretty much see where the high risk is going to be. So anyway, I figured I'd make this video, and I'll probably see you in the next one.